Since early September, the US has been striking these boats off the coast of Venezuela. This has escalated into a massive military buildup in the Caribbean. The Trump administration is saying
we have a lot of drugs coming in from Venezuela. All you have to do is look at the cargo, big bags of cocaine and fentanyl all over the place.
But is that really the whole story? Anatoly, you've covered Venezuela for over a decade. Have they provided any evidence that these boats were actually carrying drugs?
The U.S. has presented no evidence to back up its claims. We have had no names of the people who have been killed in these boats. We have seen no details about the cargo that they were carrying or where they were heading. Venezuela does not produce any fentanyl, and it is a relatively minor player in the global cocaine trade. So this is not a country where you would begin if you were to stop fentanyl coming into the US.
If it isn't actually drugs, what's the real story?
So officials both in Washington and Venezuela agree in private that the real reason is to topple the government of Nicolas Maduro. The person in charge of this is Marco Rubio, son of Cuban immigrants who grew up and built his career in a Cuban-American community around Miami. He has always viewed Latin American foreign policy through the prism of Cuban influence in the region. Venezuela has for decades been a main economic backer of Cuba that has propped up the government there with cheap deliveries of oil, cheap credits, investments. To Rubio and his allies, getting rid of Maduro was the first step towards ridding Latin America of dictatorship in Cuba.
How has Rubio managed to sort of spin this as a drug story?
Under both Democratic and Republican administrations, the policy towards Venezuela has always been framed in terms of democracy and human rights. And frankly, these are not the issues that Trump has signaled are important to him. So Rubio has been able to help designate Venezuelan governments as a drugs cartel.
Nicolas Maduro is an indicted drug trafficker in the United States, and he's a fugitive of American justice.
So therefore, the fight against Maduro, the struggle to topple him from power, is now being framed as part of a larger war against drugs in the region.
So the personal mission of Marco Rubio seems to have aligned with this broader strategic mission of the Trump administration in Latin America.
That's right. This is very much personal for Rubio. This has very much been his goal for many years, and he now has enough power to implement the strategy. Trump has already said that they are preparing to launch strikes on land in Venezuela. Whether this military campaign will bring democracy or chaos depends very much on who you speak to, but there's certainly a sense that we are on the verge of irrevocable change.